Did you know Americans are the most extroverted people on Earth? According to Robert McCrae, Europe and the West are extroverted, Asia introverted. First, let's dig into the main differences and start with the West. In the West, we subscribe to the extrovert ideal. Westerners value boldness, verbal skill, and traits that promote individuality. Americans ask questions and talk to fill up interactional silence. In many cases, speaking among Americans is not to share information or messages, but to see who's the loudest and most entertaining. Think of American TV shows whose main characters are centered around the extrovert ideal. Harvey Specter in Suits, stand-up comic Seinfeld, Barney in How I Met Your Mother. However, East Asian cultures such as China, Japan, and India often place greater value on introspection, modesty, and harmony. Quiet and reflective qualities are seen as signs of wisdom, depth, and respectfulness. Activities such as meditation, contemplation, and exploring inward are embraced as essential for individual well-being and spiritual development. The emphasis on introverted traits in East Asian cultures deeply contrasts with the extrovert ideal in the West. Why does the West emphasize extrovert ideals? Historian Professor Warren Susman introduced the concept of America's shift from a culture of character to a culture of personality. In the 19th century, American society highly valued qualities such as integrity, hard work, and moral uprightness, traits associated with a strong character. People were encouraged to develop an inner moral compass and self-discipline. This was a time where people lived in smaller communities and neighbors knew each other. In 1790, only 3% of Americans lived in cities, in 1840 only 8%, and by 1920 more than a third of the country were urbanites. However, with the rise of industrialization and urbanization in the early 20th century, the emphasis on rural community life and intimate connections decreased. As a result, the focus shifted toward outward appearance, self-promotion, and charisma, traits associated with a vibrant personality. The development of mass media further reinforces change as public figures and celebrities became icons of success and admiration. Americans found themselves no longer working with neighbors but with strangers. Citizens morphed into employees facing the question of how to make a good impression on people with no civic or family ties. This entirely new and different job-seeking experience resulted in the first impression becoming a key to success for the first time in history. Character became a thing of the past, and in this new modern world, it was all about personality and selling yourself to strangers. Dale Carnegie's life exemplifies the transformation of American culture towards valuing extroversion and a culture of personality. Born in 1888, Carnegie experienced the transition from a more character-oriented society to one that placed greater emphasis on personality and self-promotion. Carnegie's journey from a shy, introverted individual to a charismatic public speaker illustrates the cultural transformation that took place in America. His success was a reflection of the changing values and the growing emphasis on extroverted traits in American society. Carnegie's teachings focus on techniques to win people over, such as active listening, expressing genuine interest, and projecting confidence. These skills cater to the rising demand for effective communication and interpersonal charm. Fast forward to the 21st century, in Susan Cain's book Quiet, Cain met professionals in Silicon Valley who were struggling because they don't have quite the right cultural style for getting ahead. Too passive and not gregarious enough. An affluent housewife confided that all the husbands in her social circle had recently accepted jobs in China, and were now commuting between Cupertino and Shanghai, partly because their quiet styles prevented them from advancing in America. The US companies think they can't handle business, she said. When you look at big companies, almost none of the top executives are Asians. They hire someone who doesn't know anything about the business, but maybe can make a good presentation. At Foothill College in Silicon Valley, Professor Preston Nee offers a solution for foreigners in America. He conducts day-long seminars called Communication Success for Foreign-Born Professionals. This class is advertised online through a local group called the Silicon Valley Speak Up Association, whose mission is to help foreign-born professionals to succeed in life through enhancement in soft skills. Professor Nee acknowledges the importance of soft skills in America's professional world, saying, "If you don't have charisma, you can be the most brilliant person in the world and you'll still be disrespected." But when talking about Asian concepts of soft power, what Nee calls leadership by water rather than by fire, Cain started to see a side of him that was less impressed by Western styles of communication. In Asian cultures, Professor Nee said, there's often a subtle way to get what you want. It's not always aggressive, but it can be very determined and very skillful. In the end, much is achieved because of it. Aggressive power beats you up, soft power wins you over. Soft power is not limited to moral exemplars like Gandhi. Consider, for example, where Asians have excelled in fields like math and science. Professor Nee defines soft power as quiet persistence, and this trait lies at the heart of academic excellence as surely as it does in Gandhi's political triumphs. The cultural differences surrounding introversion have a profound impact on individuals and society. While Western cultures emphasize extroverted traits, they risk overlooking the unique strengths introverts bring, such as deep thinking, creativity, empathy, and strong one-on-one connections. That's hundreds of millions of introverts that may be overlooked in America. Recognizing and valuing these qualities can lead to more inclusive and productive work and social environments. Carnegie's journey reflected a cultural evolution that reached a tipping point around the turn of the 20th century, changing America forever. Who we admire, how we act at job interviews, what we look for in an employee, how we interact with our loved ones, and how we raise our children. All in all, it is crucial to recognize that introverted individuals can still thrive in an extroverted culture and make significant contributions. Embracing a more nuanced understanding of introversion and extroversion can lead to a balanced and inclusive society that celebrates a range of personality traits. As Lao Tzu once said, silence is a source of great strength.